Hey guys, it's your boy Phil Shocker, the Niceties Hedgehog, and unfortunately we were doing a post-com this week for the UNPL D League, week number 7, and just a brief little explanation. Let's just say that I wasn't feeling really motivated or happy to play the game, just because there was a bit of a confrontation between me and my week 6 opponent. I'm not going to go into it, not going to name names, but let's just say that, we made a little squabble and definitely seemed like it was not the right place to do it within the server. So I personally want to apologize to all the other coaches, mod squads, and to Danny, of course. Definitely was not trying to make a big scene out of it. And I think it was just one of those things where me and my opponent, I think, just both blew it out of proportions. I think there could have been a civilized discussion, and I think we both, probably, arguably, both are probably in the wrong here. And I personally just want to apologize to Danny and all them. I'm going to do my best to just move on from this. Hopefully it never happens again. And if it does, maybe we can make sure there's a more professional outcome instead of a childish outcome that happened. Because I think me and my opponent acted like children with how we were arguing, and it seemed like we were dragging people involved. So I personally want to apologize to the coaches and to Danny again, and I'm going to promise to make sure that that type of stuff doesn't happen again. But so when we went into this matchup, I wasn't really feeling like the mood to record, even though later on during the game it actually was getting pretty hyped. So I wish it kind of was recording. I kind of talked like I was recording though during the game. So that's the only reason why you're seeing this as a post com. So there's that. Probably will make the video a little short here, just to kind of get the video done and over with. Apologize to Jintas, I believe that's how you're saying your name, for not giving them a live com for this battle. Um, but we're going to get, so yeah, I've got my apologies out the way, and I kind of already recorded this video beforehand, but I felt like that one was a little bit more like low and mellow and kind of just pointing fingers thing. This, I feel like personally, with this, I should be saying, I'm sorry, making a small explanation of maybe what happened, and then going from there. So I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to get hyped because we got a banger of a matchup here as we take on the undefeated coach Jintas for Week 7 of the UNPL D League. And we have a really interesting squad going to this matchup. Unfortunately, again, like I said, when I wasn't in the headspace or the mood for this, I did not do the team builder, obviously. What I will do is leave a link down below to the comment section of the Poke page where you guys will see my teams. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into the video. And with that, hit the like button, subscribe, join the Fish Rocker crew today because you'll be feeling the king of the crew. And with that being said, let's get into this team preview here. So looking at my opponent's squad, they brought Cinderace, Gliscor, Alolan Muck, Iron Bundle, Tinkaton, and Hoopa, which is one of their two captains, I believe, if not mostly their main captain of sorts. Being able to terrestrialize to Psychic, Ghost, and or Ghost, Dark, and Fairy, I believe, or Psychic, Ghost, Fairy is one of the two. Um, Everything basically came except for the Gliscor. Gliscor, I felt like did have a potential to be in this matchup. I thought Cyclozar was gonna be over. Cyclozar would have been over Gliscor, but Gliscor still does make sense into my team as a hazard mon. Besides, that way they don't have to rely on Tink being the main hazard setter. So there's that. As for us, we are bringing a Cryogonal, which is a bit of a defensive Cryogonal. It's slightly less offensive than what we want it to be. We are rocking out with an Acid Armor Recover set. Be able to take hits. And pretty much max defense bold with this thing as well. So after an Acid Armor, I basically get to take hits, and then I can just spam Ice Beam or Terra Blast because it really has no good switch-ins on my opponent's draft. Bolt Beam is insanely good in this matchup. We're running with a very unique set. We're going with Choice Scarf Annihilate. Now, Choice Scarf Annihilate was not too unique just because everyone runs it, everyone uses it, and everyone does with it. But, excuse me. But I felt like looking into this matchup, I need to bring a Scarfer to check that Iron Bundle, to check the Hoopa, and to even check the Cinderace to make sure we don't let those things get out of control. Where with Adamant Scarf, we creeped it to where we were creeping Bundle, creeping our highest speed, which I believe was 110. So we creeped down to Bundle speed creep there, and then we went faster than that. So we were able to go adamant this matchup. So that's really nice. We're rocking out with Manaphy, which is basically invested enough in speed to outspeed the like kind of highest, fastest Pokemon he had. If it's weird wording on that, which I believe was Tinkaton. We also I think might have made it faster than Hoopa of max speed possibly. But we went with a bit more bulk, modest nature, slight kind of good chunk of offensive investment with Yachi Berry. This is basically to be able to take the hit from Delibot and just kill Delibot off on screen, so on and so forth. We're rocking out with like looks like almost like a Chinese EV spread of Rillaboom, which would make Envy proud. We're adamant in this matchup. SD 3 attacks. I kind of like SD in this matchup just because SD looked insanely good against my opponent's team. Rocking out with high horsepower, Brick Break, and Grassy Glide. Brick Break honestly was just more so to potentially stop potential screens and also to stop with the Cyclozar so I can be able to guarantee hit that thing and kill it. But they didn't bring it, so Brick Break kind of was a wasted moveset. And honestly, probably looking back at it, I probably should have just got it for something else, honestly, versus Brick Break, but it was here nor there. Hisuian Braviary, kind of a little bit bulky, but definitely a little bit speedy to be offensive. We are actually going modest max special attack in this one. Again, enough speed to outspeed both a Scarf Hoopa and to make sure we're outspeeding the creep of the Delibird so we can outspeed it. We're rocking out with Sharp Beak this week just because you look at my opponent's draft. You look at their matchup, they do not have a good flying switch, and their only resist is Tinkaton. And with having tinted lens that we are rocking out with this week, we kind of just always get a 2 KO to Oko almost every single thing, except especially defensive muck, obviously. And last but not least, making his also debut besides Cryogonal is going to be Sandaconda. Our boy Python, rocking with a max spread of attack and speed with Jolly Nature. This is enough to outspeed the speed creep that we needed for the Iron Bundle. But it's also really cool though is that you look at my opponent's team, he does not have really many good ground switch-ins besides Gliscor. And I felt like that was something I really wanted to take advantage of. We are actually with Coil set this week with Scale Shot, because with Scale Shot at +1, I will outspeed not only these Hoopa guarantee, but I also outspeed the Iron Bundle, which is also really great. Stone Edge is really good because it catches a Cinderace if you're boosted, so we don't have to play 50-50s. It also helps with having something to be able to hit the Gliscor for neutral effectiveness, but also to be able to gauge damage. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the matchup here. As we're going to go ahead and lead off with their Sandaconda. They're going to lead off with their Cinderace. So they're going to go for a taunt turn 1, which actually was not a bad play in my opinion. I definitely think it was such a really smart idea because it stops with your rocks, my setup, and stuff like that. But they do really taunt on Cinderace, which is a little interesting to me. But it is what it is. They're going to go for the easy prediction of their live. I'm going to go to my Gliscor here. I'm going to go for the Acid Armors. They're going their Hoopa. I'm going to tear my Electric and my Iron Defense Acid Armor here. This is where I then go for an Ice Beam here as they try to lock me into the move. And unfortunately, I give them a freeze. And this freeze somewhat ends up mattering, but I don't know how much. So now I go into my Rillaboom. They try to unthaw. They're going to try to unthaw again, I believe, right here. Or they're going to hard swap. And I'm going to go ahead and get my SD here. And depending on what Gliscor set this is, I can potentially 2 KO this thing. But it turns out it to be max defense, max HP, impish set for Gliscor. So I'm not going to be able to 2 KO this thing. So I decided to go for another SD on either a switch or a protect. And decided to just click high horsepower because there's no way he's going to make me make the prediction there. And he's going to go ahead and Sacco off his Hoopa, which means he lost his Terracath, which is really great. In comes the Cinderace. Now I have to choose between either taking a Powerball or U-turn. I go into Manaphy because I think it's my safe middle ground here. And he actually goes for Powerball, which is really great here. Now, at this turn, I was stuck with a 50-50. I was stuck with either going for Tail Glow in this situation because Tail Glow looked really good to set it up and then just literally start spamming buttons into my opponent. But if he goes for Taunt as I try to go for Tail Glow, he wastes my turn essentially. And then ends up kind of actually messing me up versus giving me any initiative or any damage. And I looked at the calc. Surf, even if he was changed to a dark type, Surf still guaranteed O-code him because the lowest I would have done as soon as he changes to a dark type is 100% at the very lowest of the damage roll. Unless there's slight HP investment, then maybe it's a slight roll, but the roll's heavily in my favor. So I end up just going for a raw Surf here, as it definitely does what it's supposed to do to a specially defensive muck, but it's not AV muck, it's Black Sludge muck, which actually makes it a little bit more of an easier time to deal with. I'm going Snowflake here. I'm going to double out, predicting the Gliscor to come in and go into my Annihilate here. As I actually go into the Muck, and I don't want to necessarily lose my Scarf, so I'm going to actually go into Sandaconda here. Not risk it. They actually go into Tinkaton here. And right here, I go for my Coil, just to start getting some boost. And then I go for my Scale Shot, or do I go for... No, I go for my Coil again, because I know I'm going to take a hit here. It reveals to be Taunt on the Gliscor, which is very interesting. I would not expect Taunt on Gliscor if you already got Taunt on Cinderace. But I guess they had their specific reason because they knew my team was very good with setup. So they're going for the Toxics. We get an instant Shed Tail, which is really, really great there for us. I'm going to go ahead and just go for Stone Edge. We do get the crit here, and that crit doesn't necessarily matter because I can just high horsepower here. I can just play around the crits and stuff like that. And it is a high critical rate move. So in comes the Gliscor now. I'm going to go ahead and just click Stone Edge here until I die. Because again, there's no rock resist on their team. Which is one of the bad things about having Gliscor is that it's a Pokemon that does not resist rock type moves. Which really hurts it against stuff like this. But I'm just going for another Stone Edge. I basically guarantee always land. And we're going to knock out the Gliscor. And we are going to go ahead and lose our Python. But Python did some work, man. Python's getting the thumbnail because he deserved it. And right here, we're going to go ahead and go for a Terra Blast here. As they go into the Muck, definitely make the smart play of doing that. And I'm just going to sack off my Cryogonal. There's no reason to keep Cryo around. It's not going to help me that much. It's crippled basically for what it is. But now I'm going to my Chief here. And we're in a situation where I have to land 2 Hurricanes. So I get my first Hurricane off here. He's going to knock off her. And now we're in a position to where I looked at the damage. I do around 30. I was doing around 30 some maximum 40 to 42% for maximum damage. Now without this, I do around 31 to 35% or 36. So basically, I can't rely on Air Slash to pick up the KO here. I have to land a second Hurricane in order to knock out this Muck. And thankfully, my bird is still well trained, and he's going to get the KO, and this basically puts us in the end game to win with Annihilate here. Now, I decided to go Manaphy, though, first. Now, here's the reason why I went Manaphy. Manaphy went first for a few reasons. One, I need to find out what item that bundle was. If that bundle was Scarfed, I was in a lot of trouble. Because I already OHKO it with Close Combat. I OHKO this with Close Combat, the range that it's at. If that bundle is scarfed, I need to know that for sure. Because then that actually provides a bit of a problem. So, I'm actually going to go into my Manaphy. He's going to actually hard out into the Cinderace. I'm going to go for a Surf, which is a safe middle ground play for me. I go for the Energy Balls. He's going to go for the Freeze Dry. He's going to see the Yachi Berry. And he reveals to be Rindo Berry, which now means that I can guarantee go to my Annihilate and just guarantee win this game 2-0. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, your boy Thriller and the Iowa Jolteons, we're going to walk away with a 2-0 victory on the back of Cranky Kong in the end here, but also off of Python, being able to provide that much offensive pressure and to be able to get rid of some of the bulky threats that he would have had to this thing as well. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Again, I do apologize that this video is not super high quality and super best quality type of video that I normally do for live cons. And I do, again, want to extend my sincerity and my apology to the entirety of UNPL staff and, again, to Danny, fellow mods, and to all the fellow coaches. I'm going to promise you that that behavior will not happen again, and it'll be different next time. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We are almost to 110 subs. Let's see if we can try to beat 110 before the end of the year. And if we can somehow crush the 120 goal before the end of the year as well, not holding my breath on that one, but if we can also crush that one, that'd be awesome. Thank you all so much again for checking out the video. And with that, I'll see you guys next week where we believe we take on NUGGLO. I'm going to call them just Joel, just because I'm scared if I say that first half, people might think I'm saying something else, and I do not want to get attacked from that. So we're just calling him Jewel. We're taking on Jewel next week, and I am terrified of that matchup, man. Oh my god. But we'll see what we'll do. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!